Good morning, everyone. This is Jamie Buckley with Life of Fiction podcast, and this is Season 2, Episode 25. And I think I got that right. Gosh, it's been a while since I actually announced the sessions, but I want to make sure that I start out this podcast with the message that was left to me from Höbin. It's been an odd week. It's been a very odd week trying to make some sense of what little information that I have concerning why Höbin's gone, there's lots of things that are happening behind the scenes that you don't get to see. And it's been a bit confusing. Anyway, I have a message here from Höbin that I want to read to you directly here. It says, Jamie, I apologize for the gaps in my communications, but things are more serious than I realized. Most of my connections throughout the FAF have been removed or retired from office. Doesn't sound good. This has forced me to turn to my less than reputable connections to get the information I require. I was able to make contact with Kat Dumblin, both a friend and the handler for Caden Brome. I asked her to reach out to you and provide more information, specifically the workings of the FAF. I'm not sure when she'll be in touch. Digital methods of communication are being monitored by some new department developed by... What? Communications are being monitored by some new department developed by the government faction. Kat knows her stuff better than most and has connections nearly as good as my own. She'll contact you as soon as she's able. I'll check in again as soon as I can ditch the eyes looking for me. Höbin. Huh. Alright, I guess that kind of solves some of the problems and the questions that I had concerning the podcast today. But it is a good thing that I got an email from a reader. And we have an email from hello@lifeoffiction.com, which you can use to send us questions if you have questions for me or Höbin or anyone else. And it's from a Jillian from Whitby, England. Now, she sent me 10 questions that I have never been asked before. So I thought, well, it might be fun. Let's see if I can do my best to answer 10 questions in 10 minutes and keep this really short. All right, you ready? Let's see. I should actually put on a timer. We need a countdown. Oh, stopwatch. That would be... No, we need a timer. Okay, ready, set, go. Question number 1. Does writing energize or exhaust you? That's a pretty good question. The answer is both. It depends upon what I'm writing. I have subject matter. If I'm having to be really creative, like in writing choices, the current book, that's draining because I'm having to. It's draining because I'm having to be creative and, well, create stuff. Whereas there are other things where I'm relaying experiences, like in a lot of the parenting material, things that I do in that area, that energizes me because I'm sharing actual life experiences with readers. And so I try to keep somewhere between 2 and 4 projects going at any given time. That way I can jump back and forth and use my energy and always be energized, if that makes sense. Question number 2. Did you ever consider writing under a pseudonym? Well, I talked with Höbin about this and realized I really didn't want to write under a fake name. Höbin does his stuff and I do mine. Okay, question number 3. Do you try more to be original or to deliver to readers what they want? Another good question. That is a little bit of both, I think. I have these stories that I want to tell, that I need to tell. Stories that I've been writing about for decades and telling stories to my kids and my grandkids and my nieces and nephews. Thing is I don't want to write something that's boring or ridiculous. But I do try, not necessarily that I try to be original, I just try to be careful and tell the story that I should be telling, and that allow that to be the filter to finding the readers that would like the story. You guys filter yourself out. Does that make sense? Gosh, I hope that makes sense. Someone tell me in comments if that makes sense. All right. Number 4. Do you want each book to stand out on its own, or are you trying to build a body of work with connections between each book? Man, Jillian, these are good questions. Well, here's the thing. Again, I try to do both. I want to have connections to everything. In this world, I have mentioned this before, that I was inspired by Sir Terry Pratchett and his Discworld. I love all the stories, but I was actually attracted to the way he arranged his stories. He has a world, but he has many aspects of his world and different series and different books that are written from his world. And I wanted to do the same thing with Wanted Hero. Now, I have standalone books. All of Höbin's works, his field guides, those are all standalone. The Choose Your Own Adventure, I only have one published currently, but plans for others, those are all standalone. The Chronicles of a Hero, they have their own individual adventures, but they are all part of a continuous series. So that's what I've been trying to do. Number 5, if you didn't write, what would you do for work? That's a hard one, actually. Well, I know what I'd like to do. I'd like to be a recluse billionaire, but that takes money. Gosh, I don't know what I would do at this point. I'm older in years. I'll be 55 soon. I know that it would probably have something to do with drawing, if I could do that. I'm not physically in a position to do a lot of things that I used to do when I was younger. I don't know. That is a really good question. Probably, oh gosh. See, I was going to say freelance writing. Oh, this one has messed me up. I don't know. I actually don't have an answer for this. I don't know what I would do for work. It would probably have something to do with drawing, though. It'd have to. Not doing both of those, that would drive me nuts. Okay, moving on. Number 6. Do you hide any secrets in your books that only a few people will find? Well, you're gonna have to read books and find out. Yes, there are dozens and dozens of secrets in my books. And it's fun when someone finds them out and gets a hold of me. Hey, Jamie, does this mean this? Maybe. Yes, I love hiding things in books. So, Okay, number 7. What do you owe the real people upon whom you base your characters? Okay, that's an odd one. And yet I'm not surprised in today's society. How can I put this? I don't want to be flat out rude, but why would you owe someone that you base your characters on? That doesn't even make sense to me. Yeah, I don't owe anybody anything that I have written about. In fact, on the flip side, I think it would end up being more of I'm doing something for them. I'm honoring them by basing a character on them. Well, unless you're actually... unless you're talking like the village idiot or a villain or something like that. If it's not complimentary, I'd probably keep it to yourself. But I don't think that I owe the people anything. Here's a good example. The Nethinim that are in the books are based on people that are friends of mine, and I've never met any of them. I just got to know them over the years, over the internet. And I actually let them know, or I asked them permission before I used them as a character. But they were people that inspired me and that I respected. So, yeah, I don't owe them anything. They don't get anything from this. I don't really give them anything either, other than the characters were created because I highly respect them. I hope that makes sense. Number 8, how many unpublished... we only got 2 minutes left. How many unpublished and half-finished books do you have? Oh, crud. Too many. Far, far too many. I actually have a book of unfinished books I've written, and let's see here. Let's see. Now I need glasses. There are, you've got the series that I'm writing right now, and that's probably not what you mean. But, I've got different offshoot series that I have planned. But let's take some of these books here. Sanctuary, the Iscarian Gate Lord, Trench Wars, and Other Known Pastimes. The Nethinim, Men of Legend. The Black Market, we need to get that comprehensive guide done. I really would like to do one, The Great Morpheophilus. Don't tell him. That would be he would be unbearable. Don't tell him. Humans, Evalu, Kutolum, and Other Races of Light. Clockwork City, we need to have a tour guide book. The Great Sundering, Unusual Plants to Use, Abuse, and Avoid. Perfect Predators and Other Unique Animals. The White Wolf and Other Changelings, things like that. I mean, we have the Book of Unanswered Questions. That'll be a big one as well. So I have quite a few that are planned, yes. I do, that are not finished. Number 9. What does literary success look like to you? Wow. Jillian, you really have asked some good questions. Dang it. Yeah. Alright, I missed the 10-minute mark. But we only have 2 questions left. That's a good thing. Everyone looked at me weird when that alarm went off. Black magic, stay away from the booth. Okay, what does literary success look like to you? Here's the thing about that. It is very different today than it was when I started this, almost 30 years ago. And I can say this, it started out the first time being almost exclusively about money. I was telling the stories to my kids and my grandkids, and I liked telling the stories, but I really didn't think that anyone was going to truly be interested in this world past a mild fascination. I thought I would really just attract little kids. And I thought, if I could make these stories into comic books and sell the comic books and to pay some bills, that would be great. The financial goals that I had and desires that I had haven't been met. It's been wonderful. It has made some money, but it's not the most important thing anymore. Now, when I think about it and the experiences that I am having, especially on Substack, well, those are spending time with all of you. This is just phenomenal. I'm enjoying myself enormously. And I would have to say having a really good-sized community. I'm thinking of a few thousand people, at least, that love and appreciate this story. I think literary success to me is a community of people that can't wait for what I write and that allow me to be of service to them by giving them new stories. I'm pretty close to what my definition of literary success looks like, which is, now that I think about it, that's pretty exciting. So, number 10. What difference do you see between a writer and an author? Huh. Well, maybe this is a bad thing, but the way that I look at it is very simple. And that is...
Hello. This is a Federal Action Registry Team notification. And we want what's best for you.
What's best for me?
Access scan shows you are in violation of FRT code 428.664.22c. Unauthorized use of FAF technology by non-known personnel. We are unable to trace your geolocation. As a secondary measure, this device, which is registered FAF property, will self-destruct in
Oh, come on. This is total bullshit.